own chicken, so here we are again. And I realized that I'm probably going to be getting bits of information as time progresses. Therefore, I might touch on things in the future little by little. Um, because to be honest, like, if a crime was attempted or perpetrated, I'm the kind of person, I don't like the scapegoat thing. I don't think that one person, they should not be held accountable for everybody's sins, so to speak. Even though, um, I mean, we're not Jesus. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if we could handle all that. You know, we are all abuse of God, and yet we are not God, so to speak. See those little alpha ears? That's why. Yeah. Anyway, I might go outside in a little bit. I think that it is possible a crime happened. It's highly possible. However, it's also possible that it was kind of like an illusion of sorts in order to make either myself or others look crazy. And that would actually serve the people who did it and just as maybe just as much as if it did happen. And I will explain that. Like a wedding, I do believe that there are only so many instances you can believe in a coincidence. Like after so many, it's like, I think coincidence is quite the illusion, but I think it's the way that source actually reveals things sometimes. I don't know. A lot of people actually can use that, but I don't know exactly because the readings are like they point at different energies. It doesn't even have to be the person's energy, it could be like the energy that they're currently in. Therefore, I'm going to be leaving names out. Again, if you want to inquire personally, I would, you know, I'll tell you the truth. That's one thing about me. If you know me, I will tell you the truth. So, as I was saying, the tarot card community actually took my interest because I wanted to learn, and one of the best ways of learning I have found for myself has been to look at what other people are doing. And so it was kind of coincidental that I ran into a lot of the things I ran into. So there is a new scam, I guess you'd say. And basically, one of the reasons I'm actually going to speak on it is because of the dangers. Um, they're not necessarily there, but potentially. And it's not just the readers, which that would be enough for me personally. I value my relations, and even if you aren't like talking to the person personally, if somebody is paying you a service, and especially when they don't have to, why wouldn't you want good for that person and be willing to, you know, uh, just tell the truth to protect them, basically? But besides them, innocent people, and for me personally, like, to each their own, kids and animals are like the most innocent you can get when I look at people. So that's why if potentially this could save some of them and even the adults, I would be happy about it. But it's just to put the information out there. You do with it what you will. I will also throw out there, if you are money minded, where you kind of, and I've seen this in this situation too. Um, it's not just life. Well, I kind of always had it like, well, I don't like these people because, or I don't hang around these people because they put money over life. It's not just life, it's more specific than that. Because if somebody robbed me, I would. It's really kind of sad because I'm so freaking. I don't want to say forgiving. I don't know what the word is. I have sincere empathy for people, and I realize people make mistakes and go down the wrong road, I guess you'd say. So I try not to judge people. I mean, everybody's messed up. I'm messed up in my own ways, and sometimes people just deal with things different. So I'm not really trying to judge people, but as I said, potentially if it would protect children, and if these people would do this to children, and it doesn't even have to be accurate in my story, is the weirdest thing. Um, Completely. But if they would do this to children, why wouldn't they to animals? So that's why I am speaking on the story. So I'm just telling the truth because love is involved. I keep getting off this, but these people who are in your family or around you who are money minded or greedy or two-faced, etc. These people actually make stories like the stories that are, propagated potentially for scamming, believable. So there's something. So basically, I got out of a long relationship. It was like 8 years long, and I've kind of always been one of those people. I'm usually in a relationship, to be honest. And so things have kind of changed. I'm pretty sure people who used to date and they know the difference, know what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't know, everybody seems like a freaking player today, which is fine, to each their own, but it's kind of like, what the hell happened? But, look at me. I'm over here messing with my hair. Anyway, I can't focus that well. I'm not really sure exactly what pieces of the pie to serve you, but here we go, right? So, after that long term relationship, which I didn't even realize, people around me were not as solid, I guess you would say, as I thought. Uh, Far from it, actually. I mean, to be honest, like I said, the people around me, like some people, blood ties is what I refer to them as. Mm, they're not really the same spirit. I don't know how to say it, like, but I'm pretty sure you'll understand. I call some people blood ties, not family, because of their behavior. Family does not want evil for their relatives, you know what I'm saying? Um, but not everybody in my family is that way, but I will cut people off because I don't want to pick up their habits, even if I don't think I'll pick up their habits. When you are in communion or fellowship with somebody, at least for myself, I can't help but love them. And it hurts to see people going through things. To be completely honest, my experience with them has actually provoked much empathy towards the creator, because if I feel that way, it's like, how much does he feel towards his babies? And I know we all make mistakes. So anyway, it just makes me, want to grow as a person, be a better person, all that good stuff. It's a process. It's worth it though. But besides that, because we can't really blame anybody, right? Be aware, if that's what we're going to do, if that's our plan, well, guess what? I I'm pretty sure, you don't need to be pointing at the devil, because the devil's going to say, hey, mm-mm-mm, you did this, you did that, and you did that. That wasn't me. That was your call. So I'm not trying to really blame anybody. However, like I said, that kind of stuff does make certain scams potentially more possible to be successful. Now, the story was, you were adopted, your birth records were sealed, which makes it so those looking into this to see if there's truth to it, it makes it very hard for them. Excuse me. What else? You have an inheritance. I'm sorry. Even if you're okay, it's, maybe not even especially, but for me, especially because I have a child, you know, I'm not trying to let me be wronged, because that's my, well, not manager, but you know what? She's going to profit when I profit. So, I'm going to be about it if I can. Not to say I know what the heck I'm doing, because half the time I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but things just work out. I'm telling you, like, ancestors speak through us and stuff. People are not comfortable with that. They think you're invoking something. Well, guess what? You just be unaware of it. That's fine with me. I'm just going to laugh when it happens, because they're funny. What really throws me is when people fucking know already and then they still do some dumb shit. Like, they've experienced it, they've seen it, then they do some dumb shit. It's like, do you really fucking think it's gonna fly? I have a bird in the fucking sky. I have more protection, let's just put it that way. So, like, so much was done. My bird leveled up to a dragon, and I have 4 more birds too. Which, that might not make sense for some of you, but some of you will be like, damn. Anyway, but I mean, supposedly it was multiple groups doing stuff. And, yeah, a lot of illusion magic. Because seers, people who, I guess, what would it, clairvoyant, I guess. I, I don't even want to call myself, like, I don't know how to control my own abilities, to be completely honest. Um, anyway, the story was what it was. So I've been trying to take certain steps, but I always have kind of like trusted father. So he can do it better than I can. He's like, bam, bam. But at the same time, I am one who says he lives through us. He handed authority to humans, and humans have to let him live through them in order to manifest things. So I want to do my part, right? And on some of these readings, actually, they don't like when you look into what's going on. Now, thing is, it could be legitimate. or it could be bullshit. The reason I'm saying that is, okay, supposedly, if say they were relatives involved, they could try to say you're incompetent. So believing this kind of stuff, if they could trick you into believing in this story that's not even true, they might say, "Look, I'm going to be the good guy and I'll oversee things for this person and then move in," or whatever the case. So that's one reason also I'm saying this, because it's amazing what people could potentially do if it was upon their heart to do such. Um, Also, whether it's true or not, people can be baited. They call it a honey trap. A honey trap is where somebody wants romance, and this is known. So, and I'm not even saying these two people necessarily. What I'm saying is people in general. They could bait you into, meet me at this place and bring a bag with you. At first, I was seeing readings that said, okay, you're never going to come back home. The fuck are you talking about? I just got fucking land in my name. That's been like a childhood dream of mine for many moons. You know, not to say I take care of it the best I need to. Like, that's why I wanted sheep and goats. Anyway, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna elaborate, but yeah, I think, but there is somebody who comes out. They just haven't been out for that particular area. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, these people with the honey traps, like I said, I have a reason to stay. Maybe if I was younger, though, and I think a lot of the people who are targeted are probably younger. And if I would have showed up, this could be a way for people to be put in the trafficking, the sex trade. I don't even know what else. Organ harvesting, even. Um, a lot of stuff could be going down with honey traps, as odd as it sounds. So, the story also said that it was relatives who hired hitmen or whatever. Well, I mean, like I said, if your relatives are into money and would sacrifice people, well, they might want to get into a group, and this is their way of sacrifice this person and I'll get in the group. Yeah, choke on it, bitch. If that's the truth, choke on it until you die, motherfucker. Forgive me, but yeah, sorry, not sorry type shit. Anyway, um, so yeah, the main reason I wanted to make this video is to let people know that, and to make an account. Like I said, there's probably going to be more stuff that pops up. Like, I found some interesting things that really could be evidence. However, I don't have any solid proof. I do not know how to. I wish I would have went to college for certain shit, but people discouraged me on this or encouraged me on that. Like, I was encouraged to go for nursing, which that's fine, but I've got other ways of healing. Um, to be honest, like, I've heard, if you basically, if you learn something, it can actually hinder you because it can take away from your faith. If it works like this for you, why screw it up? That doesn't mean I'm against learning, like, healing stuff. It's just, it wasn't, I didn't feel like it was my calling. You know what I mean? I actually wanted to go for like to be a lawyer or to be a marine biologist. And it's funny too because there were a lot of readings about people being drowned or their bodies dumped in water. And the thing about that is I've actually looked up because I'm into some strange like subjects, I guess you'd say, not average. Not everybody looks into them. And yeah, they do sacrifice people, supposedly might be celebrities, it could be just a cult, you know, they claim to be Freemasons. Actually, that was one of the things that was said to calm me or calm the audience, whoever's the onlooker down. You're being initiated. Well, the thing about that is, I've been told before, excuse me, that I would be an exceptional, uh, that I should maybe look into it because of the things that I fancy studying. However, they don't force a person. They're a little bit more like Jesus. You know, they let you come to them type shit. From my understanding. Now, hey, maybe things have changed. Maybe it's different. This was over 10 years ago that I talked to the person who told me that. Maybe things have changed. But from my understanding, that group, you go to them. It's not they find you. And this was not something I asked for. I've also heard these people could be like a black op military program where they basically are studying people's behavior, their behavior analysis or some shit, and scientist or whatever. I'm gonna think. I might have something else. If not, have a good day, or I'll threaten you. And we all know how intimidating I can be, right? I'm gonna finish at least a few pieces outside if I don't finish. But I keep getting distracted. My neighbor's like messing around at his place. So, I mentioned the long-term relationship because after that, I went through a couple relationships that were like they were all online, and I basically saw people over and over again. They said they wanted a relationship, but I don't really feel like that's what they wanted. I feel like they were trying to con people or scam or get money out of people, basically. Maybe marrying for money is bigger now. I don't fucking know. I remember because I looked into it and people will kill people. Like they'll marry them just to kill them for their money. Anyway, so apparently this is like happening all over the place. They don't even have to marry you. People will scam you if they can. But after meeting a couple people like that, I met one guy who seemed pretty decent. I mean, he loved animals. He was going to school to be a vet. He was smart and he would like he was a good influence, to be honest. He would tell me stuff like go read a book, and you know, it's like, oh yeah, well, threaten me with a good time. So he was cool. I liked him, but I'm probably too fiery for him. um anyway, I was upset about that, and I was crying over the breakup, and I met somebody who I kind of just adopt people, and I need to be more particular about who I adopt. But this individual, there were two of them, and there was one who I got, I don't know, he had a lot of potential, I guess. Um, he got me to stop crying and, you know, turned it into laughing. So I thought he was a real cool dude, but he was actually my best friend at at a time. But I don't know if I don't know how well I really know him, if I know him at all, you know. I didn't ever meet him in person, and you know, people people can be very talented actors and actresses. Um, I mean, I've known people who would actually, my best friend Bobby used to get guys to pay his bills just by talking to him online. So, I mean, I've heard of certain stuff, but anyway, um, this guy, we would, and I don't like the back and forth thing. Like, if you break up for a reason. But like I said, he had so much potential, and I think there's a lot of like childhood wounds, trauma beneath the surface. I've healed from, but there are some things I haven't even scratched the surface. Um, and I think a lot of people are like that. Like, I think that's one reason people don't even know what they are, what their gifts are, because they're kept so busy with work, their 9 to 5 or whatever. They're never really given an opportunity. I feel bad for some people because they're never given an opportunity to see their full potential. But anyway, um, so that person was one of the signs, and these readings were talking about his characteristics, and it was like so dead on that it was fucking scary. They would say some of the things he would say, but they were saying the person wanted to kill me. So it's basically like, okay, like, not just even for me. I have a daughter. Like, I am not the man of the house because I've always kind of, well, because I'm a girl, but also because God is, you know, the one who's always been there for me. That's my man. That's our man. That's the man. So, and my mom, she's older, and my daughter, she's younger. So it's like, I felt like I was the most able bodied. And that's what I meant by sometimes I feel like I have to be the man as far as be careful who you bring into your sanctuary. So, you know, obviously, well, you can actually, by the way, cloak readings or send deceptive energies out. Dude, you can harvest energy, apparently. I haven't done it, but you can harvest energy from a person and use their energy to make things appear a certain way, which it's that way in this realm. Actually, the spirit realm has helped me to understand this realm often. So anyway, and I don't know what kind of life that person is involved in now. I feel bad that the person, like, sometimes I ghost, okay? I don't mean to be rude or ugly. But if I have a reason not to trust, then I'm being told don't trust. Like, that's a double wall there. That, you know. And so also, then I started, did I even, yeah, I did. Okay. Then I started dating, well, not dating. I was interested in somebody else, and I was basically on a reading. They said that the first person had sent the guy who I was after I broke up, and I really had to fucking, because the person, I had to put my foot down because the person was even portraying it as if we were still together in front of everybody. And I didn't exactly understand why. I thought, well, maybe he's just wanting us to get back together and doesn't want the drama of people knowing that we broke up, so they won't talk smack. Because to me, like, people could talk smack and they can get some choice words too, but some people are not like me. And to each their own, that's fine. And people do matter to me. It's just, I don't know. I felt like a lot of the people around that individual, they're kind of like, I mean, I'm very childlike, probably even childish sometimes, but they were like judging somebody without knowing them out of jealousy type shit, you know? Um, However, I do feel like people instigated, like this person knowingly or unknowingly instigated. And I know there were some times that it was knowingly, because there was a time that a friend group with somebody in it said, "Hey, you talking shit, da 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 da." Well, I had gotten mad at her previously, and I don't know why it was coming up at that point. Was it because him and I were having issues? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I had to really put my foot down and say, look, we're broke up. We're just friends. I had to I had to be real strict about, like, be careful. Like, it's hard too, because you can love somebody in a platonic way, or a family like way, or not romantic, you know what I'm saying? It can change because of either their behavior, your perspective, etc. And so a few days after I had told this person, look, no, um, I actually met somebody that I was very interested in, and this person was full of potential, the first guy. However, he was just kind of stuck in certain habits that I couldn't embrace for a partner. This other guy, I think he actually might have been told either to stay away from me by this guy because he might have been sent by him. I think he could have influenced things, basically. And after that, it was like, I don't want somebody who's gonna do this, and that's why we broke up. Then when I want to move on, try to sabotage it for me because I want to be happy with somebody. But it could have been the guy just wasn't really feeling me too, so it could have been that. But I was feeling the guy enough to be really highly fucking pissed off. The first dude was a Pisces, and he was my best friend at one time. But he wouldn't, I feel like it was hard to even be friends because he would run around talking about me, and what's the Bible say? Avoid a man who talks too much. Well, and he wasn't even telling the truth half the time. The first time I realized he might be doing something of that nature was when I saw him do it to somebody else, to be completely honest. Um, but I don't want to talk too badly about him because, quite honestly, I've got a lot of stuff that I need to work on. And I think I've identified some things about him that was like, but I need to look inward at myself. You know what I mean? You can't change other people. You can wish them the best and pray for them, though. And I do. Probably not as much as I should, though. But I kind of feel like I don't necessarily have to go into prayer to talk to God, to talk to Source, however you want to see it. And the next person, yeah, that didn't really pan out too much, unfortunately. Um, Anyway, these messages were saying that one was an FBI undercover agent and one was an undercover cop. So I was safe. They were watching the cult, which was, I guess, his friend group, basically. Now, I don't. I sure as heck hope if there's any truth to the identity fraud and all that stuff, somebody who is of a good intent, who actually does that for a living or like knows how to, because I don't know how to hunt people. I would love to be able to help people like that. I don't know how to do certain things though. And these people, I was feeling like, because, all right, y'all might not believe in spiritual warfare, but I have battled a little bit, but pick and choose your battles. So I battled like 6 witches at once, maybe 8 or something, but it was at least 6, right? I have never felt the kind of stuff that they were sending at me. I have never felt that much in my life. And then it was weird because whenever I'd reverse it, and the readings would have messages that would say, oh, well, you did this, or you did, like, things that would be specific to me. Like, that would make you look like, what the fuck? Are you really watching? Like, are you that bored? Like, because seriously, like, I just study. That's all I freaking do. Well, I do a little bit more, but like, that's my passion, I guess. So anyway, I was really paying attention to the tarot community on YouTube, and it went from trying to learn from them, which I'm still learning, and actually, my readings have been pretty freaking cool. But I don't read myself necessarily. I read situation. Anyway, that's beside the point. Um, I would reverse things. Basically, I don't light a candle. All I do is tell God what I want. And apparently, some of the things I do are not normal. Like the abilities I have, I don't fucking know. I don't really know. I thought it was just a Christian thing. I thought it was just a connection thing. Anyway, I still don't want to claim I know what I am because I think we are many things. I'm balanced, like with light and dark, or Source, it's like a ladder from what I see. Source did create the darkness and the light. So there are different beings. Um, and I have relationships with different deities, I guess you'd say. But that's between me and them and me and Source, because you know what? I've talked to him about it. I didn't want to be rude to him. You know what I mean? In respect. Um, and I have actually prayed to be somebody who's trustworthy to him. But anyway, um, so I stepped away from that relationship and I was interested in another that didn't work out. But I'm still watching this stuff, and supposedly people are sending me stuff. When I send it back, there is a reaction. I am whispering because, like I told you, I don't know if it's like cameras. I mean, I'm very sure my phone's hacked. I have all these fake accounts popping up under my name. Um, yeah, just weird stuff that it's like, I'm sorry, all this is not coincidence. There's something up here. These people were to a T on some of these readings, and remember, they're not all for you. These are general readings. But to a T, some of these people were doing what this said, what these readings were saying. So it was kind of like, whoa, this is kind of freaky, bro, you know? But I used the opportunity to learn because, like, I'm a glutton for wisdom. Like, oof, it's, mm-mm-mm. You know, Campbell's good type stuff. By the way, Campbell's, when the great chief comes back, you'll probably be sued for stealing his motto. Just saying. Anyway,